What's up, everybody?
Hey Andy, we're gonna look at a solve I built,
Ooh.
and then after that, do you want to look at your HUD stats at all?
We look.
All right, we'll look at this solve and we'll look at your HUD stats and maybe some hands. And Rob, do you have any hands today?
I don't. I mean, I don't, but I can. I probably grab some.
It's up to you.
I mean,
All
I
right,
got quite, but I tag hands regularly, so I have quite a few hands we can look at too.
all right. Well,
I'll watch Andy's.
we'll look at your HUD stats because
They're
I
not
think
good,
looking at
Rob.
HUD stats is always interesting. And Rob, I mean not Rob, yeah, Rob, you play online?
Yo, I'm sorry. I lost you for a second. You cut off. I heard online.
You play? Do you play mostly online or live?
Yeah. I do. Where I am, I mainly play on Poker Stars.
Okay, well then we'll look at Andy's HUD stats after this because then that'll be helpful for everyone who is online. All right, so this is a hand I played at a low stakes um home game this weekend against probably a good player. He was the only person at the table not drinking. He raises to a very small size for a live game, and I three bet ace jack. I mean, you can three bet ace jack sometimes. I think it's a little bit. It's mixing in theory. A guy that probably knows how to play and isn't going to call everything, it makes sense. He's going to probably fold out an appropriate 50% of his range here. So, this is not the droids we were looking for. We do have the Ace of Hearts, which is important later in the hand. So, what are you guys doing here?
I would check. That's me.
Yeah.
It's a pure, yeah. I don't know. I think we could actually have some donks here.
Well, it'd be a C
Um,
bet, right? We're the three better.
sure, I missed that. Yeah, where I'm c betting this for sure.
Okay.
Um,
So I chose to check. He checks back. Now the hand gets interesting. So three bet pot, check, check, flop. And we get a top pair, top kicker. And so I decide to use a small bet here, I think. $8.50. Eat some of this. And he said, oh no. Oh no. Man with the Miller beer. Eat some of this. And he in position raises me. So this is an interesting spot, right? Because in a three bet pot with tighter ranges from both players, I am holding a key card here in the ace of hearts. Obviously, we can't make a flush, but we are blocking his proclaimed flushes that he has, but we're also blocking his bluffs. So it's kind of like an in between. But I decided we're not going to fold top pair, top kicker yet. And then we get the six of hearts. Six of hearts is an interesting card. Brings in a straight flush with the seven, nine of hearts and brings in some straights. We check. Oh, and this is wrong. He checked, and I messed up the B player. He shoved, and I was in hell. So what are you guys going to do here? So he just shoved this river, completing a flush, completing some straights, after raising in position on turn. We have top pair, top kicker, and we're blocking the nuts. So imagine he just put $100 in and put me all in with about $68. What are you doing?
I I I would unfortunately probably just fold. I mean, it's a
So,
three bet pot, and yeah, I have the ace, but I don't really have anything with that. If he has the king, he could still be like, well, I'm gonna. I mean, you only have 68 bucks. He's got 300 something left, so
well, yeah. So my pot odds are going to be like around 28,
I would
26.
just see him calling anything like queen of heart flush higher, maybe even 10 of heart flush higher, because why not? You're only betting 68 into 86.
Yeah. So
I
I
would,
think you're right.
I'd freak out. Yeah, I don't know if
I
it's
think
right.
fold is probably appropriate. This is underbluffed. So if you put this in a solver, when you put situations like this in a solver, and then you're able to custom node lock that solver and um, shave off his bluffs, what happens is very quickly this becomes a fold. It doesn't take, it takes only a slight reduction in his bluffs here for all of a sudden this hand to be a fold.
What? What?
Right. I mean, he could have
And
queens.
we don't then, I mean, it doesn't, it just takes, if you,
You?
let's say he's got value here 60%, bluffs 40. If you made it value 64%,
We're not gonna play with that right now, please.
bluffs 35,
Why don't you go
all of
watch
a
TV?
sudden we're going to
Okay.
fold this.
Yeah.
So, I should have folded because he's an underbluff
But
line.
but he did shove though, right?
He shoved.
Yeah.
So we're
Yeah.
all, he put us all in. And I call. Uh,
Okay.
now my argument for calling, and this is why if you look at the name of this, I call myself Hero Solver Head because I'm thinking like a solver here, right? I'm thinking, and that's maybe an error in this situation. I'm thinking, oh, well, I've got the blocker to the nuts and he's repping the nuts,
Right.
which makes it much less likely that he actually has the nut flush, which he's claiming.
Is he
But
really repping the nuts or is it just pushing you around because you only have 68 behind and he could just have queens?
yeah, it's true. Well, he
That's what goes
had
through my head. It's probably fear-based, but
he had
like,
a bluff. He had he went check this. His line makes sense.
it kind of did, yeah.
He
Yeah.
check. He turns a combo draw, right?
Right.
And he uses that combo draw to make a very dramatic bluff when I bet small.
Right.
He
Yeah, it
gets
makes total
there,
sense.
and there you are. That does make sense, I think. I think
Yeah,
it's
I would have played it like he did, like right or wrong. That's what
yeah.
I would have done. Like
But we
I
were
built an
ahead,
Yeah.
so I
EV
made
and
an
then I hit it.
appropriate call on turn. But I didn't identify that obviously he's got bluffs around hearts because I
Yeah.
was too focused on my blocker, which
It's
was
really
missing.
hard not to call. It's like when you hit it on the river, it's really hard not to call something that isn't completely inappropriate, you know.
Yeah, I mean that.
For me at
Well, let's
least.
find out if that's. Yeah, let's find out. Let's find out if that is an appropriate call. So I made a solve for this. I'll show you guys the ranges starting here. Here are the ranges, right? So this is what can you see the solve?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're out of position. So this is us, right? This is my wide three betting range against button, including some suited connectors myself. About 137 combos. This is his defending range to my three bet. And I think this is about right. He might not have 5-3, but I think everything else is pretty accurate. If you compare these, again, my range, it's about 10% of hands,
Emrys, please stop.
and he is defending about 6% of hands. So let's see what Solver says. I don't, and obviously Solver's interesting in some ways, but um, I think we can take some heuristics. The first heuristic is to take away from this is that on this flop, 8-5-4 rainbow, um, and we compare how our ranges are doing as they interact, range versus range interaction, as they say, we're not doing well on this flop. We are a dog. You can look at the equity. We're 45%. They're 54. They just essentially they do much better on this flop. What's also interesting here is our equity realization. They're going to over realize, and we're going to heavily under realize at 66. So when we're an equity dog, what happens is that we check a shit ton. Which is what
Right,
we
right. But he checked behind you, so
true.
you right? Like, so you had no information to go off of to even know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. You're right. I didn't really gave no indication of where he was in his range. So what's interesting here, and I think what we could take away from this is that we're checking in theory aces our overpairs a lot, right? Now,
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
now let's just
That's what I thought he was
Which
doing, by the way. Sorry.
is weird because I mean I know like we check in single raise pots out of position like this, we check a lot of over pairs. I don't think we have as much need to protect our checking range in a three bet pot. Like it's such a tight versus tight configuration at that point.
well, that's a very good point, but it's the least tight three bet configuration
That's
be-
true.
because it's small blind versus butt.
I
Yeah,
think isn't
that's why I think it's
cutoff versus
Let's
button
okay.
is the loosest, right?
yeah, it's the loosest configuration. Let's do this. I don't know what was all that stuff. You guys are making me trying to do something. Okay, here we go. So hold on, I'm gonna set something up. Cash 6 max. Nine,
Oh
six.
wow. Actually Peak convert Peak agrees with that solve as well.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean it's almost the same, other than ranges are slightly different, but
Well, let's look at this thing out. So raise. Hold on. Tough share. I'm gonna look at peak myself because I want to look at ag reports here.
I got Peak pulled up if you want me to just grab it.
I got it.
Okay.
Button, re-raise, they call. I just want to look at ag reports. All right, so this is what. Let's think about how much we bet here and how much we check. So now we're looking at all 512 flops or whatever it is. What's our average? So we're checking a lot. On average, we're checking 35% of the time. Our most common bet size is a bet small, 29%. Bet medium. But we mostly bet. So I think Rob, someone said we bet a lot here. We mostly bet. Now let's just pull this down to this flop we have, right? So we had a 8 high flop. So we're gonna make the highest card an 8 high flop, and then I think we could pull these down to all right. So now all of a sudden, what has happened? What doesn't look like dramatic, but it tells us a little bit of a story, right? So all of a sudden, when we have these low flops like 8-5-4, we go from checking 35% of the time across all these flops to checking 53% of the time. So that's pretty significant. The other thing that's interesting is that our small bet goes away, right? Our small bet goes away on average across all flops, and it gets dumped into big bet. That's because if you look here, at the equity that we're sharing, we're the equity dog. So when we're the equity dog, Solver likes to do this very interesting thing where it goes polar as fuck. It checks a lot, and when it bets big. Like here, essentially, it's extreme. It checks 80% of the time, and when it bets pot. This is, by the way, it's when it says 258, you can translate that to 25 big blinds. This is what we're talking about. With 100 big blinds behind, essentially.
Yeah.
97 big
Uh,
blinds behind and 26 big blinds behind.
I will say when at least in peak, um, we do have a little bit more equity, but that's because we have more pocket pairs than you've included here. We have about the
Now,
same number
why
of
don't you show?
combos.
I'm curious what it thinks. I'm curious to look at the like the equity we have here. Here, why don't you show the peak saw for this hint? And if you don't mind, Andy.
So we can see our equity is yours was about 45. We have about 49. But if you can see, you did not include sixes, sevens, eights, or fives, where peak has all of
In my
those
free
at
bet
full
range or
frequency.
in my
In
no,
your
I
three
didn't.
bet range, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't include those in that. I'm not gonna have those in the free bet range, right?
You also, I mean, you had combos that P like you included 8, 9, and 7, 8, and you had 7, 6 at a higher so
Yeah,
you
I
had
know.
connectors at a higher frequency.
Yeah.
Um,
Can you
and
show the out of
then
position? So let me see. So small blind equity is 49. So this is a yeah, let me we're essentially on a what's the word? It's a coin flip.
yeah,
What's
I
it called
mean,
when in basketball? When you It's a jump ball. This flop is a jump ball. So the other thing to look at, I think here that would be interesting is well, and also notice how the polarized betting strategy continues. What we're checking exactly the same amount. But when we do
yeah,
bet, we're choosing the big bet. It doesn't have pot, but in my solve, I gave it pot. It's using pot. So, it's always interesting when we see the ranges are slightly different. Does
please
it tell you
stop.
how many combos? Can you see how many combos it has here? Like a raw number? Probably not. Probably doesn't have that. No, it doesn't. It's okay.
I think maybe back here does it show the number of combos? No. Um, I
No, it
wish it
doesn't.
would show total combo. It's got to show somewhere, right? There's got to be
Ah,
a way to see.
maybe. Maybe. It's an interesting number to know.
Um, is it in egg report? No. Oh, it's strategy and EV, equity, strat, categories.
Does it show you? No, it shows you percentage of rate of.
Yeah, it doesn't show you your total combos. I mean,
It's good they added categories though. It's good you can look at your equity buckets.
yeah.
This is a really important tool. All right, I'm gonna steal this back, Andy,
All
and we
right.
can go over this, and then we'll get to the hard stuff. Um,
All right, go ahead.
all right, man. Thanks. All right.
All right.
So, I
Please.
mean, so
That's
the
very
other
loud.
question. Oh,
Go
I'm
over
sorry.
there
Go
and
ahead.
play with it.
Okay. The other question always becomes for me, like, can we apply this to real life? And I think the answer is some of it to in-game, as they say. I think it makes sense to have a polarized strat on these. I also think the thing to take away from this, which works really well, is to protect your checking range. The other thing to look at here is that it's not dramatic, but
Right.
no, we don't really. Yeah, just protect your checking range. When you get this kind of flop in a three bet pot and you have aces, kings, and queens, check them. Now let's see what happens But this isn't a line in game, but let's check here. Notice he's supposed to use a small bet often. I would imagine you're going to do something very similar in peak. But he is going to use a small bet. Now, when he uses a small bet, look at our very, very dramatic and very
Mhm.
aggressive three betting strategy, right?
Yeah, we have a lot of check raises.
You got a lot of check raises to get because he is auto betting. He's betting half his range, and and then if you look at this is one thing when you talk to those peak guys, tell them that they should include a city graph. City graphs are very, very interesting.
Yes. Well, they have one in aggregate reports.
They do have one at the bottom, but that's a little different. That's just showing all 512 flops as a big vertical horizontal line. But you're right. So and this is cool because we can see equity. This is our worst hand. Our worst this is in positions worst hand. In positions worst hand is 10-9 clubs. It has 20% equity and it is betting small. And then in positions best hand is the flop straight, which he has,
Yep. And
which
obviously it gives spades, diamonds, and hearts a little bit more equity.
yeah, gives the back door a little bit more. Um,
Wonder
so
why. That's kind of strange. I wonder why it gives spades just a hair more than diamonds or hearts.
I think
That's kind of,
I think that's what we call solve my noise.
oh, or is that just
I mean, if you solved it down to instead of 30%, if you solved it down to like uh 0% exploitability, that would go away.
right?
So when you make a solve, it's like generally you solve it down, I think it's 0.3 exploitability.
Yeah.
And so there you're going to see weird anomalies. 0.3% exploitability. But if you solved it down to zero, those would go.
I think in this particular case, this one's easy to kind of see why spades is better because diamonds and hearts, when you think about the combos that go with the five or the eight, the diamonds and the hearts, you have the sixes and the sevens are all part of those blockers
Oh,
or
yeah.
unblockers.
Yeah, that's a good point. Hey, Mike.
Yeah, that is actually. The hands that are going to continue or check raise are going to be like 7, 8, 5, 6 of hearts or diamonds. Yeah, that's a really good point. Or like a 9, 7. And I don't think they have 9. We have 9, 7, but yeah, good point, Mike.
Yeah. So yeah, I think the one takeaway I take from this is that let's have a it makes sense to have a very robust check raising range here against this bet. But this is not how it went game. Check, check. And game. Did you see the hand, Mike?
No, I just got in here.
I'll show it to you. One second. It's a hand where, to summarize my solver, I was thinking solver. This is probably not the situation to think solver.
And then
So
we're going to look at how much of
I
a fish Andy is.
so I paid them off. And then we're gonna look at, and then we're gonna try to find some leaks. All right, here's the hand. I'll replay it for you. It's playing a low stakes 50-cent dollar game. I three bet this guy with a hand which can go either way. Little loose, but this guy was capable of
Oh no, that's
folding.
standard. Totally
Yeah.
standard.
Okay. Um, and he calls. You get this. This is a high freak check board, which I found. He checks back. You get now it gets interesting. So we're blocking the nuts. We can claim the nuts. Uh, if this goes check check, or if he just calls, we can claim the nut. But now what happens is I make a small bet, and he imposition raises me. Now, some would argue it's time to exit, but
Mm.
pair top kicker against the imposition raise, which looks from a capable player. As we'll see in the solve, the imposition raise is pretty rare. And I wasn't entirely convinced he was nutted after check, check turn.
Yeah, no,
Or
absolutely
check,
not.
check flop, rather. So I check. Now the replayer, I messed up putting it in. What happened was I checked to him, he shoved, and that's where my decision point was, and that's what drove me to look at the solve. And I think what probably drove me to a mistake is I decided I was going to fold without a heart and call with a heart here.
We have to be quiet.
Hmm.
I've got the key card blocker. I do call, and he had a bluff on turn with a combo draw, and he got there.
I don't think you made any mistakes, except maybe is the bet size on the turn small in Solver World. I mean, I think in
Um,
Solver World it should be bigger.
it should be bigger, actually. Yeah, it should be bigger. It should be around a half pot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're actually full pot mostly
Yeah.
with
In
your combo. It goes your
in peak.
yeah, in peak your predominant bet is a full pot bet, which I
Yeah.
mean he's not going anywhere anyways, but I don't he probably wouldn't have raised versus a full pot, which means you get to, when that peels, I guess, it goes check check and you lose a little bit less, but
So solver agrees with you. This solver agrees. It says full pot. It doesn't like my small bet. It wants to
Yep.
go. It wants to go polar.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
in
what I thought.
peak with our exact combo, it uses the small bet 1% of the time. And that's
So
more
my
of just the
I'm sorry, I interrupted you, Eddie. Go ahead. My apologies.
that's all I was saying was in peak, it uses a 6.5 as the small bet, and it uses it literally 1% of the time. I think that's just the kind of it's going to find a use for every single size every time. So
It prefers
but
pot
obviously
though.
it uses the full size bet at almost 50% frequency.
So guys, why do you think we go polar here?
Well, because you're almost checking range on the flop,
Yeah.
and he checks back.
So he
Uh,
is.
We're talking about this one. It's nobody's turn yet.
yeah. So when he checks back on the flop, and you now turn top pair, top kicker, you are at almost pretty much, top of range almost. I mean, unless you're three betting 6, 7, which you do
That's a good
probably
question. What
sometimes.
is ace jack?
It's never been so it's
Ace jack turn. Ace jack
actually going pretty quick.
equity. Ace jack. So our highest equity card is going to be the straight with the flush redraw, which we have
Yeah.
in the in
Yeah.
what I
So
built. And then
without considering the suited connectors that you would sometimes three bet, which you probably don't have a huge frequency of three betting the suited connectors, like 4, 5, or 6, 7 would be your best ones, obviously. And you're also not three betting fours and fives. You could three bet eights, probably is in range, but again, not at full frequency. Whereas you are three betting all your aces, kings, queens, jacks. I think your ace jack off is almost a pure three bet.
yeah, I gave it as a high free three
Yeah.
bet. And
So with
then
all those hands, you have a pretty significant, like this is one of your top hands now. And he doesn't have, when he checks back, like you take away his 6, 7s and his fours and his fives and his eights.
that's a
I
good
mean,
point. Let's
yes,
see how much he's
yes, he
protected from
can
this.
trap and check back those, but I mean, it's rare and low frequency.
Yeah, you actually have.
He's
I mean,
protecting eights. Well, he's notice he's pure protecting fives in theory. He's betting fours, and he is protecting, in theory, a check back with eights. I'm sorry, Andy. What were you saying?
I was gonna say I was agreeing that ace jack is pretty much right at your top of your range for equity.
Well, here's what's interesting. I don't solver doesn't agree with us. I tend to agree with you guys, but the solver says doesn't agree. So
Yeah.
let's look.
Well, but that's because solver is taking into consideration that he is checking back pocket eights and probably checking back some six, seven, and that sort of thing. What we know in real life that doesn't
Ah,
get
okay.
protected.
Yeah, I see your point. I see your point.
But your ace jack is the same as aces here.
Let's find it. It was at 20% equity.
Yeah, I mean, in peak on the turn, it's got pocket aces at 87.1% equity and our ace jack off, actually our exact combo at 82.9% equity.
It thinks top pair top kicker is 82%.
Basically the nuts.
Wow.
Yeah,
Maybe I was
almost the same as
misreading
aces.
something.
I mean,
And it's
because
probably just a little less than aces because Peak probably cold calls pocket
I
queens at
was
the time.
misreading. You guys are right. It's
I need
80%
to
equity here
hold
too.
it, Dad.
This is our
No.
combo, not our exact combo, but the ace of hearts is really important here. Like if we look, let's look at ace. Let's look at ace jack, all of them. It's not that important. I'm wrong. They're
ace
all
jack
80%
suited
equity.
actually has less equity than ace jack off because we just never have ace jack of hearts, so we have no chance. We're not blocking any flushes or flush draws. Ace jack off has a little more than ace jack suited.
But anyway,
So it's
that's kind of
using this
the
small
reason
size
we're
sometimes. So we're not going to break the solve.
1%.
But I should have
It
used the
does
bigger
use it.
size here. Yeah, I should have used the bigger size. I should have gone at least half pot, but really pot. So I could lose my money in a different way. Um,
he might not have raised you if you went bigger.
yeah, I agree. So he doesn't have many raises, surprisingly here. I gave him the specific raise size he used in game, and it doesn't use it. It doesn't use it with, he uses it sometimes with his 9-8 hearts, which is what we had. It's the one he uses it the most often. I think, what about sets on this what texture? Eights sometimes with 90% equity. 9-8, the draw has 52% equity. This is a really beautiful raise, but don't really raise that much in position. Fives, I'm blocking everything. 90% equity, it's raising. But what about if we use a bit? What if we use the suggested size?
Do you want to put your solve back up? Because right now we're looking at the actual hand.
Oops, I'm messing up. Thank you. Stop share. Sorry, guys.
Where are you stopping? I thought you were going to put your solve up.
Is that myself?
That
Yep.
was your
Oh, yeah.
solve. The one, I mean, or yeah, there we go. Now we can see it.
All right. So sorry about that. So what if we use the suggested size here of pot? Let's use pot. He doesn't have any raises. What if we use, no, he only has raises if you use small size. If you use small size, he has raises. Otherwise, he doesn't have raises, as Mike suggested. But we use the
If we
small
use
size.
if we use
Sorry.
half pot, he has a couple of raises, but very, very like nutted hands, and a couple bluffs.
So he found the bluff here, 9-8. And then
At 9,
we yeah, sorry. And then 10-9.
which is weird because
We're
in
not folding any jacks here. Notice we're not jamming anything. Well, kings, aces really don't ever take this line. Kings jam. So eat some of this. Ace jack jams. Very top of range, which is going to be
you go
the very
watch
top of
TV for a little
range.
bit,
7-6 hearts.
take a
Jacks,
rest.
6, 7. I was thinking
Okay,
that when
don't
you
take a
got
rest.
that card and he raised, my suspicion was that he shouldn't be raising and that he also doesn't have very many hands here that he should be like that he's even naturally going to have raises. Like he's not going to have
Yeah,
all
true. He
because
doesn't
he
really
checked
have
back the
any.
flop. I was considering you should jam the turn, even though solver says don't jam the turn. I was
Yeah.
considering jam because you will deny equity.
I like
But
jamming.
Yeah, I think jam makes sense.
And then
I
if not,
agree.
fold river.
I mean, especially so pot is 258. So let's say 250. 750 in. There's nothing left on river anyway, so maybe jam is better.
yeah, because if he's
Like if we
somebody who
do this,
raise like king jack or something like on you, then you're getting it in versus worse. He'll call with worse, and he might call with his draws. Within
so
that
this
that draw that he has, he probably calls.
yeah. So this is what we're doing with all river cards on the bottom. The six which came is the worst card we check. So if the six comes, the worst is the six of hearts. We're checking here. This is a horrible card, which is what we got in game. He jams. This is the reveal. It it likes to call with the ace of hearts.
Yeah.
But the line went like this. Turn small, raise, call, six of hearts. What are we doing? Do we have any donks? We don't have, this is a horrible card. Ooh, we are donking the heart. Look at that. Solver does have all in donks with the rearward flush. Interesting. And then it has some kind of blockers with the nine, with the heart blocker. Some kind of flush with the heart blocker. That is interesting. So we're checking 95% of range. He
You see,
shoves.
quick side note, you see Jonathan Little's post just now in the Discord?
I did not know what he said.
Hey everyone, after over 100 plus hours studying and playing 1-3 live cash games, I have put together my first vlog style course for Poker Coaching Premium. This course has over 100 short form videos going through my 100 most interesting hands from playing over 20 hours of 1-3. You will learn,
20
um,
hours or 2,000 hours? Or
It says
200.
20, but it could be. Then it says you will learn real winning strategies to crush small stakes live cash games, non GTO strategies that actually work, how to crush weak passive limpers, how to play very multi-way pots, how to get more value with your big hands, how to increase your aggression to steal pots, how to avoid losing big pots with marginal hands, and much more.
Interesting.
Um, and it looks like I haven't jumped on poker coaching yet to see if the course is actually live. I'm sure it is if he says it is.
Yeah, cool. So check all in. What are we calling? We're folding 72% of range. We're over folding here. And we're calling 27%. And the key is, in theory, we call this with the ace of hearts. That's what do we what's flushes 8-7 makes sense. It's straight. It really loves jacks here. We play aces like this, we should never do. We want the ace of hearts. We fold aces without the ace of hearts. Call the king of hearts. Never have queens and jacks. So, all right. That's the end of my presentation on this hand. And I think I could probably overfold river. And I think I got it stuck in my head that, oh, I really like having the ace of hearts here. I'm blocking is nuts. And I don't know if that was the right choice against humans. I think we can overfold.
And the reality is, in solver land, yes, it says to call with the ace of hearts, but in live poker, live small stakes poker land, they're never jamming there without a flush or at least a straight at worst.
Yeah, yeah. So I think I overvalued blocker properties here.
Uh, sort of. Yeah, I guess.
I overvalued like just to this. It's important to know theory, but you need to ground that in reality.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't have. If we look at his bluffs, what are his bluffs are supposed to be? I don't know if he's bluffing 9-8. I don't know. I mean, if
Uh,
a nines with the heart blocker, I don't think he's doing that.
I don't
You know
know,
what? This
man.
is
I
actually
don't
really
know.
interesting.
I think I kind of disagree because of the player class you kind of described and the fact that he did raise like he did on the flop. I think he was going with whatever he was going to do it anyway, like no matter what he had.
Yeah. So then your argument to just rejam over that make or to jam ourselves here makes sense. I think if we are going to call against some people, um, here's the truth. Turn out of position. There is our theory. Um, and you're right. We could pull on the turn. I think you need to call with against some people. I think he's capable. Maybe it's a good hero. Maybe I'm indifferent. I don't know. Obviously, you lose when you lose a hand, you want to understand the mechanics of it. And so we learned a little bit. I think the one thing I take away from this is that my check was good on the turn. I want to use a bigger size, very dramatic size of pot here.
Yeah, remember, it's kind of heuristic. It applies a lot of situations where when you check and you're checking range, like in this case,
Mhm.
and they check back, and then cards come on the turn that are good for your range or even neutral, then you usually have a kind of a polar type sizing when you do bet
Yeah. Yeah,
because
that's
you maintain all of your good hands.
I want to we'll look at this for the end here and then we'll move from there. So here we go check. Here's our starting linear equity graph and our compare. We're the dog. Turn comes. What happens to linear equity graph? All of a sudden we're out of position, the blue. We've got a lot of good stuff happening. He's got a nut advantage because he's got these sets, but we get to attack after he goes check, check.
Yep. And again, remember those sets in the solver, yes, because they protect more often than humans do. So in real life, they're not going to have as much green at the top there.
Yeah, that's a good point. They're not going to have they're going to bet those sets more. So, okay. So yeah, I think the big thing takeaway from this is here on turn out of position polar strategy, especially with top pair, top kicker. Maybe even turn this from big bet of pot into a jam. So, okay. Andy, do we want to look at your stats?
Yeah, we can take a look. All right, let me.
We're gonna
Uh,
do a we're gonna do a
I'm
buddy
on
check
mute.
on
I'm multitasking. I'm on mute, but I'm listening.
okay. We're gonna do a buddy check on some stats here.
all
And
right.
I going to
I don't really know how to do like database analysis, so either way, this will be kind of a good. Like the only one I really know is this one.
all right.
Where
So
I
let's go one at a time. So I unfortunately am not as familiar with Poker Tracker as I am with Hold'em that. So we want all your hands for the last year. So or maybe two. How many hands have you played this year? Let's
I don't.
filter it to the
I'm
last
still
year.
having problems. So I'm still having problems with the the database with since they switched. So I literally just have, these are my hands from since basically the beginning of April. Um, why is it? Oh,
So you don't have any hands available. So how many hands are in the database? So this is 8,000
44,000.
hands, right?
No, that's hands one. I have 44,000.
All right. That's and this the 44,000. So and let's peel that down to the last year. Or is this just since April?
Just since April 9th.
Okay. So we got
I mean,
44,000 hands since April 9th. Let's look at some fundamental metrics. Let's try to pull up what your VPIP is over this period.
my VPIP over this period is, oh, I just ran it. We can see this will show
Click a stat to display information. So click on VPIP.
26.24.
That's too big. That's too many, man. It's too many. Um, I know I'm being quite abrupt there when I say that, but let's what's your what's the rake structure on um
Um, it
on
is on PokerStar. I'm on the FanDuel powered by the PokerStars basically
so
is
give me so it should be like the rake should be like a percentage with the cap.
5% up to, I think the cap is three. I think it's three. So 12 big blind, depending on what.
So you're playing like
350.
you're mainly playing NL 25, let's say, right?
I was mainly playing NL. I was mainly playing NL 50.
All right, well let's look at
Okay.
I'm gonna steal the share here for a second. All right, so this is prime dope, right? So prime dope really good for looking at. So you don't have Poker Stars for or it's iPoker, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an poker network.
So this is a €3 cap, whatever. You're paying a $3 cap on 5%, right?
Yeah.
So this is the same thing. So if you work those numbers out over a bazillion hands, your net rate is going to be around 4%. And the most important thing here is what's your rate big blind per 100? And it's 8 big blinds per 100. So they're going to shave off 8 big blinds per 100 off your win rate. So to be profitable, you've got to be at like 12 big blinds per winning rate, right? Because
Hmm.
they're just going to shave off 8 bigs per 100. And that's pretty much going to be across at all sites at this stake. I mean, it gets really bad with like Poker Stars in Europe. Coin's pretty good. The most important number here is big blinds per 100. So the point I'm making is that if you're paying this amount of rake, which is ridiculous, we're all paying it, it's horrible.
Hmm.
You need to play really, really tight because you need to meet a 12 big blind per 100 win rate in order to win. So if you pull up your stats again,
So would we
okay,
go off GTO with that? I'm asking because I play on the same site Andy does.
yeah.
So like six seated, should we not be as three betty or open? Like
Well, the other thing to understand is if I assume you're not paying rake if you win the hand free.
I assume the same thing, but
Well,
a
you're
lot
not.
is unknown since they transferred to FanDuel. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
there
want to
is
know
no
that. I
rake.
mean,
If you take the pot down pre, there is no rake.
Okay, that's what I thought too. Okay, good.
All right, so this is the way I think you want to go for a VPIP of around 20%.
Hey, Andy.
My VPIP is on the high end of the green zone.
Andy,
Yeah.
can you show, so click on results tab at the very top and then go to by position. And then and then you'll have to add or go to statistics here at the top. I'm sorry, statistics at the top. And then we should be able to see your VPIP like by position, I think.
Yes.
There, yeah. So now we can see that your VPIP on your button is actually probably kind of low, actually.
Yeah.
And then the others it doesn't seem too out of line.
Probably a little bit. I'm a little bit wide in EP. Um,
Yeah,
but
that should be down. Yeah, that should be less. But Larry, what do you think about these by position?
Um,
Pre-flop
it's a little
raise.
flat. It's a little flat. I mean, you should be,
You should be near 50% on the button.
yeah, you should be at 50%.
yeah.
You usually want to
No,
steal bonds.
I mean, granted, we do know like 44,000 isn't a huge sample size.
No, it's
Um, I can switch to my other database. But I had a problem. My databases won't merge since moving over. There was a corruption in my old previous database. They don't know where it came from. But so I had to actually start a brand new database when I move sites.
okay. Well, that's all
So
right. Well,
this is not
44,000
my
hands.
original database from PT4. I have like 400,000 hands on that database.
All right. Well, we can work with what you have here because it's the most recent.
Yes.
Probably you should open more from the button. I'm not an expert at this. I think Mike is probably more tuned to this because he uses Poker Tracker more than I do. But I think overall, so the number here, can you go back to, yeah, the number that would be most concerning to me here is this 2618. So your 26 is your VPIP, your 18 is your pre-flop raise. You want these to get really close, and you really want them to merge around 2020, like 1919, 2121. I would really strive to get these closer and closer.
Because that means you're cold calling a lot.
Yeah.
Well, and so I will say, like, when we look, there is being in and I've seen it a lot, like, especially I mean, I got into this really about here. I have been three betting the button less, but that's because, I have all these players that are opening like whose RFI is 40% with a zero fold to three bet. So
Can you pull up
instead of,
Mike, what is the way to add rows or sorry to interrupt. What is the way to add columns here? Can we add like a column with three bet frequency?
Yeah, right click in that little blank area in
Yeah,
there,
right there.
and you're going to configure. This is where
Here,
you add.
let's give you a couple to add. Can you add three bet, fold, three bet, and squeeze? Yeah.
where did it add it in at?
I don't know. We'll listen to Mike. He knows how to do this.
I looked away for a second. Go back to the menu or where you were to add it. So configure, and you found the stat. And then
I have to pull it over. There
there
you
you
go.
There
go.
we go.
There you go.
Oh, hold on, stop. Here, go back to that. Let's add a couple
I
more.
can just
Just right click and bring the report up again, like you had before. Oh, I'm sorry, the configure again. Yeah. Can you add fold to three bet? Okay. And then one more. Well, two more. Can you add squeeze? Pre-flop. It's gonna be the pre-flop raise. Pre-flop squeeze. And then can you add a kind of more esoteric one, which is I think important? Uh, can you have river call efficiency? River and then space and then put in call. You might call it something different. River call efficiency. Good. And that, and one more, just because we're here. Can you add flop C bet? Flop space C bet.
It doesn't, for me, it doesn't like,
Mm,
oh, because that's, I know why.
Oh,
Because it's,
type C bet first, and then it'll be C bet flop.
yeah, see that
there we
flop.
go. All right. I think that's a good start.
And then do we want to, we don't need big blinds per hand. I don't know how that got in there. I can get rid of, I guess it doesn't matter. All right.
All right. So let's look at, so your river call efficiency's good. When you call on the river, you're winning 1.6. Um, which means you're winning $1.5 for every time you call a dollar. So you're not a calling station. Let's look at your three bet frequency. Three bet free flop. So your pre-flop's pretty good, but I would, in a environment where you are not paying rate, if you take it down free, I would strive to get that higher. I would shoot for 10%. And
And
your
I
squeeze,
have one when you're done, Larry. I have one that's pretty glaring.
okay.
This,
And then the last one I'll have, I think your squeeze is pretty good. I think you have the right, I think your squeeze is good. You want to be around 7 to 9% squeeze. Okay, go ahead, Mike.
The one to me that's pretty glaring is you're cold calling small blind like absolute ton. If you look at your VPIP is almost 30 and your uh where's your three bet preflop is like 10, that should be like 16, but your preflop raise should be more as well from the small blind. Are you limping the small blind? Like, do you have that in your strategy?
yes, I do sometimes.
Yeah, I think that's where
Um,
that's really.
yeah, there's some players that will literally 100% of the time raise if they're in the big blind and there's limpers. So I limp there. Or times, where it goes multi-way and I have a hand, like pocket fours, a hand that's not good enough to ISO, but like pocket fours, five, sixes, I'll complete.
Hmm.
The one that also stands out to me, and it may be just an anomaly because of the sample size, is that you should be winning a lot more on the button. It just might be
Yeah, I
sample
think
size.
that's just an anomaly. I also believe that these are anomalies as well. Like those should not be where they're at either.
No, that's right. You are losing money in your blinds
Well, I
because
get
you're
that, but
paying a
I'm
blind.
saying it should be more.
Oh, it should be more.
Yeah, it should be.
Um, I don't know.
If
I don't
you
know how to measure big blind hand.
um
I'm not familiar with
Usually,
that
small
measure.
blind, big blind is usually in the 40 to 20, negative 40 to negative 20. So
yeah,
No,
you're
okay.
winning your big blind. You're not losing very much in your big blind, which is fantastic.
No.
And your small blind is kind of where it should be, and it's actually pretty decent.
yeah, that's what I think I think those statistics are I think this is it's still sort of anomalous from and because kind of since here, I've actually moved all the way down to 10 NL. I just to try and get through the variants. I it's been gnarly.
I can understand that. So,
Like I can't tell how many times, I get called down. I get, a pre-flop race called by King 4 suited, and then they call down with top pair and hit their 4, versus my ace king, or it's been a lot of coolers and just variants swinging the other way. That's been very frustrating.
It's so funny you say
so,
that because I dropped to 10 NL since they switched sites too. And I was so embarrassed by that, but I didn't know what to do because the same shit was happening.
so, Mike just put something really important in. Oh,
You
I sent this to
posted,
you last night,
yeah, you posted that last night.
but show it to Rob. Hasn't seen it. Do you want to bring it up since you're
Yeah.
sharing? So, Rob, have you seen this before?
I don't think so.
So you could download this from the chat. Mike just put it in. This is from Michael Acevedo's book,
Yeah, this is modern poker theory.
and these are what we expect our win rates to be in each position. Now this button is our highest winning spot. But download this. This is a good thing to have around. So the big, if I was, I think, hopefully Mike's still around. He can give you some suggestions. My biggest suggestion, can you pull up your stats again that we were looking at before?
Yeah.
So I would strive to bring these two numbers closer together, VPIP and PFR. PFR represents when you raise pre-flop, you either enter a pot or you three bet. And you want these to get closer. You want less calling. You don't want to,
Yes,
you don't
I'm
want to flat.
I'm aware that the largest issue I have is that I am going complete unless I'm just need to fold more, but like not three betting queen jack suited on the button against a player who's opening, but literally or from the small blind. I have found a couple more calls when I have a button with a zero three bet or 1% three bet against, or I mean, not a button, a big blind, and I have a player in the button who's opening 60% of hands, and his full three bet is zero.
Yeah.
I,
I
I
mean, certainly
find,
we've got people who have full to flea at zero, and then it changes what we're going to do. But I don't, and there's going to be a lot less people who fold at lower stakes. But I would just play less hands, man. I think you're playing about 5% too many hands. I think you want to try to strive for 20%.
I mean, yeah, I think I want to say on my previous database, I was about 24%.
Yeah, you want to get
Um,
down to 20%. You're playing too many hands. You're just playing too many hands.
I mean, I'm playing the I mean GTO 6 max ranges.
We'll go add one more stat here.
All right.
Okay.
One thing that we're missing is RFI, just raising first in. Is there a raise first in stat?
There is, and I have it.
Just put raise in first and see raise first or something.
Yeah, there it is. Raise first in. Yeah,
And then drag that over, or you have to go back to the configure page to move it.
oh yeah. I gotta
Yeah, click it in there and then there. And move it up next to like pre-flop
next to
raise or
PFR
VPIP.
right there. That's actually the order I have it on my HUD.
So that'll give you an example or an idea of the ranges you're raising from each position when it folds to you.
Yeah,
Yes.
this is properly linear, but you want to steal more from the button. you want to really it looks like
Mhm.
what you're doing is that you're using a more static raise first in strategy than what is ideal. You really want your button to be a wider range so you can steal the blinds. Because over and over I've heard from the smart guys, in the end, poker is a game about stealing blinds uncontested. So when it folds to you on the button, folds to you on the cutoff, try to steal those blinds uncontested.
So the fact that you have a total VPIP of 26 and the highest raise first in, like almost nothing is over 26. So you're playing hands by calling more like a lot.
I mean, the only
And I
position
suspect
I
it's coming from the small blind is where this is happening
no,
the
I
most.
don't. Probably mostly big blind and button. Those are the only spots, other than the rare occasion in the small blind. I don't call other positions. I don't.
Yeah.
All
Hey
right.
Andy,
Well,
I know you can't pull up you can't merge Poker Stars with iNetwork, but can you pull up Poker Stars still to like see your old stats before they transitioned?
Yeah.
Because I'm wondering if like we're both making weird changes because the pool's so different.
I mean, you can see here my cutoff, my VPIP PFRs are very close here. Other than I mean misclicks. So you can see my biggest discrepancy is button and big blind, and
Hmm.
then some in the small blind. But that goes from I use a limping strategy, blind versus blind. And yes, I can. Oh, it's kind of a pain.
And your pre-flop squeeze stats too from the blinds are pretty low.
Um, so I need to set active.
I
And I
ask because you probably have like a half a million hands there. So
Yes.
and I remember when we've done some hand analysis with you, Andy, I remember kind of not giving you shit, but like being critical of you not squeezing from the blinds or not three betting from the small blind and cold calling. I remember that being kind of a thing.
Yeah, why is it not showing the old database? Um,
can you just do file open? File uh open. We can go to the database. Open
it
user data file. Is that what they call it?
should.
what if you
I
change
think
your
I have
name
to.
to
I think
the your old name?
no. Oh, they're already merged. I mean,
Oh,
I can. I guess.
unsuccessfully. Okay. There I
I
am,
can.
right at the top.
Yeah, I can try. Let me see. No, yeah. See, they're already merged.
You'll have to teach me how to merge them.
Let me see.
So while he's doing that, Mike, if you're still with us, what is your if you had to make any recommendations to Andy, what would you make?
Not cold call as much in the small blind. But again, if we don't see the hand, it could be a small sample size. Like seems like he's calling hands, like he said, they're small pairs and things like that. I wouldn't go any further than that. And then also squeeze more from the blinds.
Here's your so are we did we save that report? Do we have it available?
That's just.
Cool.
Oh, so my VPIP was about the same. PFR. Um, so those are the same. Yeah, small blind, there's just raise first in. Where's three bet?
Raise more from the button, raise more from the cutoff.
Yeah. Try to strive. I think if you really want to be able to see it in stats, try to get your VPIP and your RFI to merge. I'm sorry, your VPIP and your PFR to merge.
Make sure to go back, set that now so I don't forget because that throws off everything.
Okay. Yeah. Try to get you so you're a 2616 is not ideal. We want to get down to like a 1917, 1918. You want to get those numbers together. How you do that? Well, you call less and you raise more. You three bet more and you play tighter.
If I
I think you need to play tighter, and I think you need to three bet more.
This is
if I
also, I
saw
will
a HUD
say,
against an opponent that was 26-16, I would tag them as a weak reg
so
without
I
seeing how they play, without seeing like anything. I would just make an assumption that they're just kind of a weak reg, right? When we're
will,
talking about
yeah.
hand history analysis.
I'm also trying to see when, so there is a point. Um, what did I just know? I want to unzoom that. Oh, results. There. Why is it zoomed? What is, I don't know why it zoomed just now. Um, what did I just do? There is also a point where, I can show you where I kind of actually joined the group and joined poker coaching. I don't know why.
Here, while you're doing that, I'm going to steal it.
Okay.
I'm going to show my own stats because I feel like I don't know. I feel like you've been looking at your stats. We'll mix it up. So I don't. Mine aren't close enough together. My VPIP, my PFR aren't close enough together. I cold call too much. I don't three bet enough. I don't three bet nearly enough. This is a fishy number. Now let's compare that on the right. This is one of the biggest winners in low stakes on ACR, which is frankly a tough field because it's international. You guys have, there's lots of people from Ukraine there who are eking out $12 an hour playing low stakes. And this is one of them. This is kind of VCAP. He's like one of the best in the group. He plays probably 60, 70 hours a week. His VPIP and PFR are much closer. He's the most important thing I take away from this is that his cold call is half of mine. Mine is horrible. His is awesome. This is where he wants to be. And the other thing I take away from this is that my three bet sucks. This three bet is awesome. This is where we want to be. We want to approach 10%, especially in the high rake environment and no flop, no drop. You have very similar rake structure. So you just really want to cold call less, three bet more. And with that, I'm going to pass it back.
All right. I was gonna see. There we go. Yeah. So
Maybe
I
how many tables do you play at a time?
four.
Okay.
So
With four
not many.
tables, you should be able to get down that VPIP. Right? You're not bored. You're playing four tables at a time. So you should be
Right.
able to get it down. Try to get it down to 20.
Let's take a look at this. I I will try. I don't know if I can go that low.
Well, that's how that's really going to increase your profit. It's really going to increase profit. Less flattening for set lining, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So anyway, anything else you wanted to show us in your stats, Andy?
No. That's why is that?
I don't
It's
know what
saying I
that
have
pre-flop
no
is. I don't know what that is.
with this.
Yeah.
That's
Cold
cold
call,
call two
two
bet.
bet, pre-flop. So that
Yeah.
cold, is that your cold call
Yeah.
frequency?
Which
Well,
is saying,
you can't cold call from EP
oh
and you
yeah, and
can't
it
cold
wouldn't
call
be a
from the
cold call in the
blinds,
blinds.
but you're cold calling way too much from the button. Because on the button, you're going to run this show post flop, right? You're in position.
Yeah, go look at what 15% of hands looks like in a graph.
I mean, oh, I know what I'll do.
Like you could use like Flopzilla or
Yeah.
Equilab.
Oh, here. Let's say what is my VPIP is. Come on, don't be stupid.
You can
We'll
just
You
just
pull
do
just
that
this.
drag the
slider.
slider. I was going to say just drag the right one to 14 and keep the other one back at 0. And that'll show you, this will show you this range, this 14% range.
Well, that's gonna keep. That's top 14.
So you want to see what you think your flatting 14% is.
Yeah. So if I take this to 30, and then
Well, that back till it gets to be 14. Keep pulling till it gets to 14.
well, it would
Keep
actually be
pulling, keep pulling, keep pulling. All right, there's 14.
16, but yeah,
So that is likely what your flatting range looks like. Probably actually more implied hands.
it's
Probably have
actually
like
probably
you have like implied odd hands in there like 8, 7, 6, 5s. You're probably
yeah.
flooding 8, 7, 8, 6. Why don't we do this? Do we want, if you want, we can build a filter in Poker Tracker to see what hands you're flatting in the button. And we can go through some of them. You know, I am not, I think Mike is probably much better at that than I am. I know how to do it in Hold'em Manager, but I don't know how to do it in Poker Tracker.
Well, that's in my reports, right, Mike?
I'm going to go take a break, guys. I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, I'm sorry, it's 2 o'clock. I have to jump on a call too, so I've got to
Okay.
jump away for a bit.
All right, no worries. So what we want to do is we want to look at your flats in the button. I'm going to let you work on maybe. Oh, he's got to get a call right now. I just got a call. No worries.
The hand report.
And now it's all different. So you want to just focus on button and where you flat and open. And there should be a way to do that. And then we can look at those hands. And I'm going to be back. I'm going to take a break.
Welcome to the audio conference.
None. Um, it would be position. Is everyone here, or am I just kind of hanging out by myself?
I'm here, dude.
Okay. Um, I don't know. I mean, when we go, I don't know, let's go new. Yes, I guess I am a little. I guess I am calling a little wide.
I think this is a much wider calling range than GTO Wizard.
Yes, that's kind of what it is.
Like GTO Wizard, which a lot of us build our ranges around, is not this does not have this many flats. And you shouldn't have that many flats because the rake is really high. And you're not paying rake if you take it down free.
Yes. So, and this is actually, so this is, oh, so now we go, let's go here. Yeah. But anyways, so I filtered for these are all hands on the button where I called a pre-flop raise where I
All right, let's sort by the most. Can you sort by like when you sort on Poker Tracker and you say how much you won, or does it show both how much you won and how much you lost, like the biggest hands?
so I can go biggest one, biggest loss.
All right. Well, let's start with the big. Can you mix them so they like show together?
Oh, you mean like alternate?
Yeah, they alternate. Is that it? Looks like you got it.
I mean, this is just in order. I could go
Yeah, this is
um
fine. So let's start at the biggest ones at the top and go from there.
be the biggest. So this is total. This is I can go most amount one. So now it's organized by from most amount one to least, or I can inverse it. So now it's most amount lost to, and it goes in order.
You can't do it so that it mixes biggest pots whether won or lost from top to bottom.
Uh,
Probably not. What if you
I
right
don't.
click on my C1? Will
Let
it show
me
you any
get back.
options? Right click on that, see what it says. All right, it doesn't do
There
anything.
is no right click option.
All right, well, let's just look at the biggest winning hands and then we'll look at the biggest losing hands. So let's look at this monster with ace queen where you flatted. Let's look at this.
All right, let's go. Oh, I remember this pot. Maybe.
So why are you flatting on the oh, because it's a cutoff? What? All right, show us the action.
When was this? Okay, so
When he opens, all right, why are you flatting it?
why? There has to be a reason. Oh, this hand was a while ago. Um, Well, because this guy's super punty and and maybe no, why did I? I know
What?
there was
How
a
many hands
reason.
do you have on him?
905,
And what's his fold to three bet?
30%.
Okay, if he doesn't like to fold three bets, and you have a really good hand, and you have position on him,
I don't know why.
you have a
Was
really
this a
good
miss?
hand, you have position on him.
Why was this might have been a misclick.
You definitely want a three bet here. This is a pure three bet. So
Yeah, this.
so
Why
since
did
we're
I not? The,
and by the way, I wanted to say this before I didn't say it. Andy, not everybody's comfortable getting on here and like showing all this stuff, showing, and talking about their mistakes. And you've done this since you've joined this group. We've been really awesome about being open about your game, sharing your game, sharing your foibles, sharing your leaks, showing hands where you think you didn't do well, and you get a shout out for that. Not everybody who comes on this call is comfortable with that, including me. I show a lot less hands than I used to because I kind
Larry.
of
This
get.
may have just been a straight up misclick. That I was focused on another table and like time was running out.
All
And
right,
I
well
just when I
let's go to the next hand. So why don't you click to the next hand? We'll see what happened here. So next hand looks like you're going to flat some fives. Let's see what's going on here.
oh I know why I flat here. I can almost guarantee it
All right, this is
because this
fine.
guy
You're
is
gonna.
punty as hell. That's why I flatted
Well, he
here. I
uses a
know.
stupid ISO size, and
Yeah,
you've decided that you want to
and
set
he
mine, which
four
is fine.
bets. Yeah, and I also because this guy won't. I don't think this guy's gonna fold, and
Yeah,
I figured
this is good. I would flat here a lot too, because we are going to set mine against two ranges, and when we hit, we're going to get paid. This guy donks. We're looking for the board pair. You get the board pair. We've got the nuts. We jam, and he calls this flush
or
with
was
his
this queen
top
jack
pair.
off?
All right, let's go to the next hand.
All right, I'm going to tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this, and we'll just take a decent little sampling down to like here.
Well, instead of looking, let's look at like a couple more winning hands, and then we'll go to the losing hands.
I just selected a
Okay,
few, and we'll
that
see what happens.
all right. I think I'm gonna lecture you about flooding this hand.
Yes.
All right, so I think you're gonna tell me you did this because he's a really bad player and you want to be in
No.
pots with him. But you've got the
Um.
button here. This is much better as a three bet bluff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if you compare, this is
And
not.
it's actually a pure fold.
Yeah, I mean, folding is great, but it's better to three bet bluff it than it is to flat it.
And then as soon as we get to hijack, you're right. Where am I at?
Yeah, I mean, this is just either you three bet. This is not a good flat. There's no way we can justify this flat.
No.
So let's go to the next hand. Again, suited gapper. Yeah, it's a pretty hand, but you got to fold it. You just got to fold it, especially this deep. You hit, and that's great, but it's just not. If you play this hand 100 times, it's just not gonna. Again, you've got to three bet this. This is not a good flat. You probably want to play with this guy, but he's bad. But this is not a good flat. It's better as a three bet. I mean, pull it up in this in the. We're going to have, I think, a mixture of three bets here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
No,
pure
it's
three bet.
almost pure. It's almost pure.
Yeah. So you want to just three bet the hand. Or flatting is
So
not
let's
ideal.
The other, yeah, the 7-9 is a pure fold.
Tighten up, man. Tighten up.
Um, oh, that's
And
not the one I
I
meant to
mean,
play.
obviously sometimes we're gonna hit, of course, but
This is just a fold. This is
yeah, this is a fold. It's a pure fold.
either that or
Even if his
is it
VPIP
ever?
is, I think you're playing it because his VPIP is 41. But if his VPIP is 41, you're going to do better three bet. And because you've got the button, and if you've got the button, you're going to run the hand. You have more chances to isolate the fish, right?
Right.
And so you want to isolate this guy to like, if you fold it, you just fold. But now when you go post, you've got a very good range against the guy. What's his fold to three bet rate over his 300 units? This guy.
Zero. Zero.
Okay, yeah. Well, fine. We're playing a three bet hand against a full range of 40% of hands or whatever it is, but 20 or 30% of hands, who knows? You could trade. But yeah, we don't want to front this. All right. And yeah, and again, sometimes we're gonna hit. Now let's look.
Why? Oh, yeah, this was just a set mine.
You're set money, man. Well, you have
Yeah,
a
pure set
limper.
mining.
I can
Huh?
kind of, but he's got a broken stack, so it's not as we don't have as
I think
many
this was a
flat
post. I
odds.
don't even think this. I think this was an ISO against a post.
Okay.
Because he came in and it's maybe it wasn't an ISO against the post. Maybe he actually no, because he came in with 40 big blinds as the table minimum.
Okay. So anyway, all right. This is pretty egregious because you're flatting against you don't have the implied odds, and you don't have the implied odds, and you have much more significant implied odds with twos.
All right,
So
let's take a look at the
this is
losers. Is
naughty.
probably we'll take it down to here. That way we just have a decent sampling size
All right, sure.
across multiple limits. Actually, it's not across multiple limits. It's only across, well, it's across two. So yeah, I guess it is.
All right. So this is really bad. This is a much better three bet. Let's see what happens. Yeah. So you probably want to. Well, this guy's got a VPIP of 20. Yeah. This is a three bet it or fold it.
Even against such a low fold to three bet.
Yeah. Well, just fold it. It's a
Right.
fold.
Yeah, pure.
Yeah. You're way off. You've like many pips too wide.
So apparently what we talked about last night, I just need to take some time off and drill
I would
and
take some.
drill.
Yeah. Drill pre-flop. Just drill pre-flop.
Um,
Just like use the pre-flop drill. You know what really? You know what I use? Do you probably have the poker coaching app installed, right?
there, okay. That was weird. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. What's up?
Okay. Oh, that was weird. My Zoom just quit. It's back up now, obviously. It literally,
Crashed?
um, this one was, what happened here? Oh yeah, this is a really bad one.
What? Hmm.
This is just an easy fold.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we've been pretty. Yeah, we can see what's going on here. Just tighten it up, man. Tighten it up. All right. Um,
Those-
do we? Do you have any hands that you want to show that you have marked?
yeah, I can pull up some marked hands.
Why don't we look at a couple marked hands and we'll call it.
Hey,
Uh,
also, if there's any chance I can kind of do the same thing much quicker than not saying Andy took a long, but like a, a quicker thing, uh, with the stats on my poker tracker, that would be freaking awesome.
Do you have
yeah,
it ready
I'm good
now?
with that.
Yeah, yeah. But like we don't have to drill down as much, but just
Yeah,
like
let's just do it. Yeah, that's fine. You want to? Yeah,
it'll make Andy
sure.
feel a hell of a lot better because I've struggled like crazy since they switched to FanDuel. I'm all I don't even know who I am as a poker player anymore with this with this site.
All
But
right, sure. Bring it up.
let's see here, share.
Here, let me there. You got
Cool.
this.
All right,
Yeah,
you
let
can
me try
share.
again. Uh, all right, you got me?
Yep.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So we want to add the same stats that you had with Andy. So right click, I think here was it? Right click.
Yeah, just right click anywhere in the white.
I'll let Andy run it. He knows how
Yeah,
to do it. See his did.
yeah, yeah.
So go to configure report. I got rid of the big blinds per hand just to so double click BB per hand. Double click it. Okay. Now go in search. Um, what do we have? We have um raise first in. So go raise first in, double click it. Hey buddy. And then we have um three bet pre-flop.
Is it the number three or like you spell it
Yeah,
out?
number three bet, no space. There you go. Three bet pre-flop. Down a little bit
Pre-flop.
more. Yep,
Right here.
double click it.
All right.
Okay, you added it. Now we have fold to three bet.
Right there.
Fold. No, that's
Oh no, this one.
yep.
All right.
Did you double clicked it?
I think so,
Yep.
yeah. Full
You
thing.
did.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
got it.
you
I got
did.
it.
And then we have pre-flop squeeze. So type if you type squeeze, it should just bring up. What's wrong, buddy? I think my little man's having a nightmare. Pre-flop
Right here.
squeeze.
All right.
Yep. Double click.
There we go.
Okay. And then we have the call river efficiency. You have to go back to call just because it won't, for some reason, it does weird stuff. So you can go to calls, just click expand. There, you can scroll down. Your autofill's kind of getting in the way. There. Call. Keep scrolling down.
I'm trying to get rid of the autofill, sorry.
Right
Efficiency.
there.
Oh,
River call efficiency. Right there.
there we go. All right.
And then I have C bet flop. So you can go to C bet flop right there. Now hit OK.
All right, so rip me apart on my on my stats.
All right. So where's your VPIP? Can you
Right here.
pull,
Right here.
let's do this. Right click again and let's move these columns around. So configure report. Gonna go to configure report. And then click on PFR. Like above you, just keep on going down, down.
Down. Down.
Oh, here. I'm sorry. My bad.
Yep.
Sure.
Highlight it. And then click the up or down arrows. So click up over
And
here.
bring it next
Yep.
to VPIP. Okay.
All right.
Now, okay, that's a good start. Actually preflop squeeze. Pull that up to sit next to preflop. Yeah,
Nope.
that's
Down
fine.
one. Oh, I guess there we go.
And what else? And then keep on pulling down. Scroll down. Okay, let's do that. Hit OK. All right, so we really want to strive. The first thing we want is we want to strive to bring our VPIP and our PFR together. Preflop range is when we are the first to enter a pot, or when we three bet. We're the aggressor preflop, and that's what we want. That's what we want more than anything in the whole world. So work on getting those numbers together.
Okay.
And how you
So
do that?
23 is a little bit too, because before you said like keep it both kind of
Yeah, we're
similar,
all
but
paying
at
a lot of
20.
rate.
So my
Yeah, we're all
PFR
paying
is
a lot
okay,
of
but
rate.
I need to drop this obviously cold calling a little bit here and there.
Yeah, like if you looked at your total rake paid, which is like right click just for the hell of it, right
Yeah.
click and bring up the report again, and then look at search rake. My currency. I think it's
My
like
currency rate taken.
yeah, it's probably it. And then put that at the end here, at the bottom. And then let's pull over. Look at that. So look how much that's your rake. So they've taken 1,200. How many hands have you played?
Where do I see that? I was trying to find that before I pulled it up.
8,000. I think it's right here.
Oh
8,000
yeah,
hands.
yeah, 8,000. Oh my God, that's all there is on this? Shit.
So you got 8,000 hands on iPoker, and you've already paid $1,200 rake.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
That's
you,
crazy. I've paid with 44,000 hands, I've paid only double the rake.
yeah, I mean, the
Huh.
rake on unless it's cash is. I mean, are you getting rake back on iPoker?
For
Yeah, but
now I am. Yeah.
this doesn't include rake back, I think, does it? No, it
No, it
No.
doesn't. So
doesn't.
this just shows rake paid.
You
Yeah.
can input rake back manually, but
But I'm not getting right back on the new site. It's just until I absolve like $1,000 worth of rake, which I'm sure is gonna end soon. It's not like Poker Stars where you got an immediate like poker rake back, you know? So I don't know how they're to do it.
so what you want to think about here is that you want to get. I would try to get these numbers closer together. What's your three bet frequency? Three bet frequency is pretty good, right? At 8. Do you want to get it? You want this to approach 10. You want to find more three bets, right? And when you find more three bets, that's going to bring up your PFR. You also want to flat less.
Okay.
You want to flat less with so that'll bring down your VPIP number. And let's look at your VPIP number per position. So your VPIP on button So, okay, this is important. Notice how all your numbers are very close.
Yeah.
So that means that you essentially don't have you don't have an elastic raise first in range.
Okay.
When you're opening cards, combos, you're opening pretty similar in early position to what you're opening on button. You want these to be a lot more drastically different. Your RFI on button when it folds to you should approach 50%. Because like I said before, really in the end, all this stuff we're looking at, in the end, poker is about trying to steal the blinds uncontested.
Right.
And
Well,
you're most likely to do that when it folds to you in cutoff and button. So if you were to pull up Peak, or if you were to pull up GTO Wizard, and you were to look at your ranges, you would see that you're opening, I think it's like 42% of hands when it folds to you on button. So you're really, really off the mark on that.
on the button. Am I raising too much in lower positions, or I'm just not raising enough in or opening enough on the button?
And I'm gonna,
Um,
uh,
so one thing your rake taken, I just adjusted, mine's almost 13,000. That's total, that includes total rake taken, not just of hands that you've played.
oh, okay. So that is, yeah,
Oh,
sorry
okay,
guys.
okay.
You
That
need to
is,
look at your rake. You can look at my currency rake contributed, is how you can.
Okay.
that's right.
And do I go back to reports for that? Okay. So,
Yes.
let me kill this one. Just double click it. All right.
Now go to my currency and hit the button.
Yep.
That
Now,
one.
which one?
Rake attributed.
Is
My
it rate
currency rake
contributed?
Attributed. Okay.
or
Contributed or attributed?
attributed.
Okay. You
Actually,
said
put them,
attributed, right?
add both of them, see if they're the same.
All
Yeah.
right.
They might be
All
the
right.
same.
I can see. Let's see. Let me see what the difference is. I'm looking right now. Okay, so attributed is, yeah, total amount. My currency rake attributed is total amount of money removed from the pot as rake when the player won the hand, calculated in the preferred currency set in Poker Tracker. So yeah, how much, essentially how much rake you've paid is when you hand pots you've won, how much rake was taken out. So yeah, you want to
That,
look at attributed.
yeah. So my point with that is that with rake, when do you not pay rake? Well, you not pay rake when you don't enter a hand, and you don't pay rake when you take it down three. So we want a three bet more, and we want the kind of way to think about it is like almost like a arms race. Because we're paying so much rake, all of a sudden we have to increase our threshold to enter a pot. Because when we enter a pot, we have to win more. We have to get like to 12 big blinds per 100 over our entire sample size to win 4 big blinds per 100 because they're taking 8 big blinds per 100. So in this
Right.
arms race, we have to get tighter and tighter. The more rake that they're taking, the tighter we get. It's an arms race.
Are we betting a higher amount than maybe is comfortable pre because of the rake to just
Are,
push off, or
are we? I'm sorry, I'm going to say the question again.
are we betting a higher amount, like more big blinds? Like
No,
instead of
that is
betting
a
four
very
or
good
five
question.
big blinds, are we betting 7.5 big blinds?
That
Just
involves the cap. And the
the
cap is
cap
a
isn't
very,
as bad as like yeah.
The cap is really bad.
Right. The cap's not as bad as ACR. That's why I got off ACR. It was the same rake, but the cap was a
So the
little
cap
bit
is like, you
better.
got to think of the cap in big blinds. So I think you're paying, your cap is 12 big blinds per 100. It's
Dude,
12
that's
big
still pretty
blinds. It's
bad.
like, well, it depends on you're
Mistake.
playing NL10 right now, right?
Between 50 and 10, yeah.
On NL10, it is 12 big blinds. I believe on NL50, it is
10.
6.
It's
Oh,
I'm
very
correcting
hard,
up
six.
right now.
guys, to hit a 12 big blind cap for rake. A $3 cap for rake means essentially you're both all in at about 125 bigs. It's really hard to hit. I'm going to try to find a tool, which is really geeky, but kind
I
of
didn't
cool.
think that Poker Stars was that bad, even on the news site. I mean, ACR killed me with the 12 big blinds, but
Let me see if I can find this. There it is. All right, so this thing is kind of hard to... This is something that Tombos made a long time ago. Let's talk about... I don't know if I can even remember how this works, but I'm going to try. Um, so put a link to this so you guys can take a look, and then I'm going to steal the share. I'm going to steal the share from them for a minute. I'm going to share
You can
this.
take it in a second too, and I can.
So,
Um,
so this tool, I'm sorry, Andy, what were you going to say?
I actually pulled up the on FanDuel site their rakes and their rake structure and caps.
oh,
All right.
good.
So this tool allows you to understand. It's an attempt to visualize how much the rake affects your strategy. When you're going to hit the rake cap, so let's say you're playing, I haven't played with this for a long time, so I'm trying to go. It's about rake and cap. So if the rake, so what's your rake now? Your rake is 12 big blind cap, right? $3. Let's just go with 12 big blind cap.
Is that
Well,
what
it
it
would
was,
depend.
Andy, when you looked it up?
In 10 NL with 5+ players, it is a 25 big blind cap because it's $2.50 is the cap.
Oh my God.
At
So what,
at
okay, well,
one cent,
what stakes are you guys playing? You're playing $10, right? 10 out now.
Not
yeah.
anymore.
Normally I play 50 NL, which is a $3 cap, which is 6 big blinds.
All right. Well, that changes it. So we go to 6 big blinds.
Yeah, I gotta go back to what is 30, by the way? I like 30. Can you tell me that, Andy, while you're looking at
30
it?
is 10 big blinds. It's a $3 cap, but it's 10 big blinds.
What's your rate percentage at 5% or 4%?
It's like 5.5 ish. It's 1 cent per 18 cents in the pot. So it's what, roughly 5.5?
All right. So what does this tell us? So I've got this now at your rake, right? See on the bottom where it says, can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
See on the bottom right, it says size of pot.
Hmm.
Yes.
So the horizontal axis is the size of pot. The vertical axis is risk reward, right? And this essentially is a measure of when the cap comes into effect and affects your play. Notice we're at a rake of 6% with a 6 big blind cap, which is 50 and L, right?
Yes.
Notice the
50
cap.
NL is a 6 big blind cap.
We have to get up to 110 big blind pot to actually, this is set to 5.5. This is 5.5. See it over here.
Yeah.
So we have to get to a rake of 100. We have to get to a pot of 110%, the rake even to come into effect. So this is horrible. I mean, essentially you have to have a massive pot to even hit the cap. Now let's compare that to like NL10, which I think was 12 big blinds. the cap.
Yeah, I'm
25 big
very curious to
blinds.
see what the differential is.
So when you
See,
go
I
to a
can't. Oh my
12
25,
big
God, I
blind
can't
cap,
play this.
25 big blinds at NL10.
I had no idea.
so it goes off the scale. Like you're not going to ever not hit the cap.
No.
Now let's change this. So let's bring up prime dope. Prime dope. Right kicker. Now let's when this starts to get interesting and the rake becomes not an issue, is you really have to get up to NL 500. When you get up to NL 50, NL 100, I think it's
200, the rake starts to kind
NL.
of, it's 1.75 big blinds is the cap. It's 5.5% with a $3.50 cap. So
All right, it's
1.75.
5.5. 1 point. Okay, so now I'm gonna move this down to 1.75.
Yep.
Notice what's gonna happen. Watch this bottom line here.
Yeah, it's going to come way in.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, when we get down to 1.5,
1.75, but
well, this is at 1 point, well, whatever. Yeah, 1.6.
yeah. So call it 1.8.
All of a sudden, you just have to play a 25 big blind and you're hitting the cap. And it really, all of a sudden, is a lot less. You're just getting rake less because you hit the cap.
That's
So
NL 100, right?
That is NL 200. NL 100 is a three big blind cap,
Oh,
which is
you
still
still have to
not.
play a significant, you still have to play a significant pot to hit the cap.
how many big blinds? What is that, like 40, 50? What is that?
And
So it's
then
always
NL
$2, right? So it's just how many blinds is $3?
three big blinds.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
So
oh, oh, I see. I see. Yeah, I'm trying to
And
get.
then
I was looking at the graph.
NL 500 is a point 0.8 big blind cap.
which one?
NL 500 is a $4, so point 0.8 big blind cap.
Yeah, so when you're playing NL 500, that's really when the rake doesn't affect. You hit the cap almost every hand at about 17 big blinds, and you're in much better shape.
So
But
what would you recommend? Like,
I'd
uh,
recommend,
what? Yeah, what?
I mean,
What
I'd recommend
stake?
playing as high as your bankroll can handle, but
Well,
know
right, yeah.
that it doesn't really affect you until you get to like NL 500.
So 100, 200 isn't worth the up.
Well, so what is 102? So what's your rake at NL 100? What's your rake is $3 cap. So that means
So three big blinds.
three big blinds. It doesn't, you're still not hitting the cap a lot. You have to play a big pot. You have to play like 60
Right,
bucks.
right. It seems
You
like
have to have like a
200 is
60, you
where
have
it
to have a
shifted.
60 big blind pot before you hit the cap.
Because 200 NL was what, 1.7 big blinds?
And
Yeah,
what's going to be more?
1.8.
1.8?
Right.
1.8.
25, about a 35 big blind pot, then you get the. This shows you
Yeah.
how much the rake now disappears. And this also, guys, is the big reason, especially at low stakes, why we need to three bet more. Just three bet a shit ton. Try to get to 10% three bet. So anyway,
Did you see much of a differential between playing 10 NL and like 50?
Me?
in skill set,
No, 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 no. And when it comes to the cap, like is the cap still approaching? Was the 30 NL still over 100 big blinds, or I feel like it
what
was
was
still really high
so
to where it
30
didn't.
NL is 30 cents. What's 30 and what's your cap?
30 NL is 10 big blinds. It's 5.5 at 10 big blinds.
Okay, that's
Here's
still
30 NL. You got to play a huge pot to get the cap.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what 150-ish big blind
Yeah.
pot.
Right.
You know how like this
Oh,
affects the
no,
way that
Disgusting.
185.
this affects the way that Scotty's game plays. So Scotty, he plays 2-5-10.
Yeah.
Well, it's because of the rake structure in California. They've got a massive drop of like $6 or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, their
So
drops are crazy.
so because they have a massive drop of $6, like they take that right away. You're incentivized to play bigger pots and have the rake affect your win less. These are kind of, and that's why also playing here in Texas is so good because you're paying timed rate, right? You're paying $10 an hour. So you know how much you're paying. But then also you want to drive bigger pots because then you're paying less rate. But you want to play bigger stakes. But
But
you
outside of three betting more pre-flop, it doesn't seem like it's much of a difference until you hit like 500 NL. Is that
well,
kind of
it does affect you more than that. You three bet a lot more at these, which we all play these rates, and you also are fucking tight, man. You should be playing about 19 to 20% of hands, man.
right, right, right?
And it's the arms race I talked about. You have to have a bigger win rate to be profitable. And because of that, you have to play tight as fuck.
Right, because you're always fighting the rake. Right, right.
So I'm going to stop sharing. Yeah. I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to hand it back to you. And once you bring up your stats again, and we'll look at your stats for a while more, and then maybe we'll call it. Getting close to 2. So let's look at your. Did we get river call efficiency on here?
I thought so.
I Pull to the right.
Yeah, we did.
There it is. Pull to the right. Let's see what your river call efficiency is. So I don't see it here. Oh, there it is. Your river call efficiency is you're a little bit of a station. You want that number to be around 1.5, which means for every time you call $1, you win $1.50. So you want to tighten up how often that's flop continuation bets. But go a little bit to the right. I'm sorry, you were on it. So yours says call R efficiency.
Yeah.
That one. Yeah. That's the one I'm talking about. You're
Okay.
calling a little bit too much
In what street? All of them?
on the river. You're
It's
calling
just the
river
river.
bets too much. You need to fold a little bit more on the river.
Oh,
That number
oh,
should be
oh,
around
okay. I've
1.5.
never pulled up this stat. I was confused for a second. I see, I see.
Okay, I should explain what the stat is. The
And this is
stat,
who I'm calling against. Like, so this is 1% against the button rate. Is that what it is? I,
so that number represents when you're in a hand, you get to the river,
hmm.
and when you get to the river, what, and you are facing a bet from your opponent, how much you win when you call. Now it could be too much once you get to like 2 or once you get to like 1.8. That means you're too tight. You're folding too much. But when you're where you are, which is at 1.3, you're calling too much. Really, the sweet spot is 1.5. You really want to be calling at 1.5.
So it needs to either be folding more or re-raising more. Is the
Uh, well,
I'm
this is
still trying to
only
wrap my head
measuring one
around this
thing.
stat. I'm sorry.
That's all right. It's only measuring one thing. It's measuring how
When
much you win when you call a bet on the river.
Okay.
So when you're
so it's
calling,
a ratio. It means for every dollar you're calling, say on the button,
Hmm.
you're losing, or you're on the button, you are, for every dollar you call, you are essentially getting $1.01 back,
Okay.
which means you're
Which,
basically break even on the button on river calls. You're losing money
Right,
in the big
right.
blind when you call river bets.
yeah, you're losing a little bit too much. You want to be around 1.5 there.
And then
You want to fold more
2.3
on
means
river.
you're not calling enough.
So I want to fold more on river. That's
No, not necessarily. Like here, we have a sample size issue, but
yeah.
um the
I should have
2.34
switched to
means
poker
you're not
stars.
calling enough, means you're overfold.
That's when you look. His river call
Oh
efficiency
wait,
is
I'm sorry. What did you say? I'm sorry,
1.36.
Andy. You said that 2.3 means I'm over folding.
You're probably folding a little too much.
Andy, where do
Okay.
you see the 2.3?
MP.
MP.
Oh, you're talking about position.
Yeah,
Okay.
by position. Yeah, your
Uh,
total of 1.3. So this is it's also, I mean, we're looking at sample size. In general, you're probably 1.36 means you're calling a hair too loose.
All
yeah,
right.
you want to tighten up. You want to be around 1.5.
Okay.
I put
Okay.
I put kind of a cheeky explanation of it in the chat. It didn't paste very well, but
Okay.
so if your river call efficiency is 1.0, it means that you're breaking even, but that's not what you want. When you're in a big, like a 7 big blind per 100 rake environment, your river call efficiency needs to look at around 1.5, 1.6. So you need to fold a little bit more.
All right. Okay. Not. I always thought my problem was I'm not going too high on the river, like when I'm betting or like if I
Well, this
should be
is a different.
re-raising.
Oh yeah, this is a different. It's not measuring anything about your
Oh, it's just
aggression.
call. Yeah. I'm so
Yeah,
yeah.
that is
Sorry.
strictly calls. That has nothing, that does not factor
Okay.
in
All right. All right.
um
Sorry, I have never seen this graph in my life before this call our efficiency. I've never seen it. So yeah, no, now I absolutely get it. Yeah, it's only calling.
I mean,
Yeah.
you
All right,
can look at
1.5.
there is a stat that is, your essentially, it's essentially the same thing but with bets instead of um
Right, right. But like in the button, I'm calling too little, which means I should have won more money on the button, right? Because I should be at 1.5.
it
Yeah, so
means
that means
no,
you're
it
calling
means
too much.
you're calling too much.
The higher this number, so this means that for every time you call a dollar bet, you're winning $1.01. You really ideally want for every dollar you call on the river, you want to win $1.50.
Okay. I was getting thrown off because of this like the MP where my C1 is like minus 25, but I'm up. My call our efficiency is 2.34.
Here,
That's what
I
was
really wouldn't
throwing me
even worry
off.
about by position. The most important number is at the bottom, which is the total. We're
Okay.
trying to parse down on this sample size by position is just it's not enough. Just look at your bottom number. That's the most important one. And that tells us you're calling too much. It should be a little higher, around 1.5.
Okay. Okay.
All right, guys. Any other questions for me or for the group? Anything else you guys want to do, or shall we call it? We zoom on
That was
Friday.
so confusing. I really got turned around.
Yeah, sorry about that. It's a lot to digest.
Yeah, it was just at a higher number. It was a lesser call like that threw me off. I've never looked at this stat, but yeah,
What I would do
thank
is
you so much. That's
after
great.
I would go and do some Googling on just what each of these mean, and that will allow you to understand their value.
Yeah, I've
River
never
call
pulled them up
efficiency is a really
before,
cool
so
number.
right, right,
yeah, another
awesome.
one you can look at that is very closely related to river call efficiency
Hmm.
is oh crap, what is it? We can take a look. Statistics. What is it? Let me find it really quick. Is I know it's on here. Um, double. So if you go to one at Showdown after calling the river, and that it's basically just this, the river call efficiency as a percentage. So just go WSD. Don't no go after call river right there. Nope, it's right there. Yep.
Pull that up. Hold on. It's all right.
Now
I
you'll have
just
to scroll all the way over because you didn't move it. All the way. You didn't scroll all the way.
I don't know how to
So
measure it as that. I mean,
This
I
is
don't
the
know.
so
call
this
river
is
in
the
one
percent.
showdown.
This is the percent you're winning the showdown after calling a
Oh,
bet on the
that's
river.
percentage. It's not measuring the dollar amount. It's measuring the times you win.
Yes.
Got it.
After calling the river, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right.
Yes.
And
Which
that's that.
actually all of these, like your whatever this top one is, the 66.67,
Uh,
would actually say you're not calling enough if you're winning that often at showdown. Like it's surprisingly low. Like this number is generally, I mean, depending, it is very bet sizing dependent. River call efficiency is probably a better indicator. But this is, given pot odds overall, like this number generally reflects below 50%.
okay.
Um,
I mean, that's not as important as how much you're winning when you call.
right. The call efficiency is more important.
Yeah, call efficiency is really what you want. Is that like how much are you winning when you call? And you want it to run $1.50. All right, guys, should we call it?
Yep, we can call it.